Okay guys, so moving on to number 4, it says the model represents an inequality. What is the solution set for the inequality? So they're telling us there's like 4 little bars, 12 little skinny blocks, and then less than, and then 8 little shaded in blocks. For every long bar, it's supposed to be an X. So this would be like X. And then for every little empty box, it's supposed to be worth 3. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 times 3 is 36. And then less than, and then each of these little shaded in boxes is worth 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so now I kind of have an idea of what I have. So it's 4 x's plus 36 more is less than or equal to 16. So they asked me, okay, what is the solution? So I need to move my constant. So the number that I'm adding plus 36, I need to subtract it from both sides. So these 36s are going to cancel. 4x gets moved down with the less than or equal to. 16 minus 36, those are different signs. So I say, okay, I'll subtract them, putting the bigger number on top. 6 minus 6 is 0, 3 minus 1 is 2. So it's 20, but I have to keep the sign of the larger number. So it becomes negative 20. And so now, okay, now I have 4x is less than or equal to negative 20. Now I get rid of my coefficient. So the 4 times x, I need to do the opposite and do the division. So divide both sides by 4. Those cancel. X is less than or equal to, what's negative 20 divided by 4? Negative 5. Because a negative divided by a positive is a negative. So my answer would be letter F right here. For number 5, this is a word problem. So it says, in order to keep specific bacteria alive, the temperature in a science lab cannot exceed negative 10 degrees. The electricity went out when the temperature was negative 54, but it's increasing at a rate of 5.5 degrees per hour. So then it says, how many hours do the scientists have until the bacteria is not safe? Okay, so I'm looking for hours. That's the variable I should be looking for. So I'm going to probably use a letter H to represent that variable. So when it asks me to write the inequality, I can kind of label my categories here. There's going to be a start, a change, and like a goal or ending amount. So I'm starting with negative 54 degrees because they said when the electricity went out that was the temperature. So negative 54. How much is it changing? So it's increasing at a rate of, so it's plus 5.5 degrees per hour. And then what's the goal amount? It cannot exceed, so that means that less than or equal to negative 10 degrees. So I say, okay, so I have my different categories here. So I can, if I'm going to write it out, I can say my inequality will be negative 54 plus 5.5 times H, the number of hours, less than or equal to negative 10. So right there, that's my inequality, right there. Okay, and that was part A, just to write the inequality. Now part B says to solve it. So let me write it in just a different color just so I can tell it apart. Negative 54 plus 5.5 H less than or equal to 10. So what do I need to do first? I need to move my constant over. So the number that I'm adding or subtracting. So this negative 54 that I have here, I actually need to do the opposite and add it to both sides. And sorry, this was a negative 10. So I can cancel these. 5.5h gets brought down. The less than or equal to gets brought down. And negative 10 plus 54, again, if they're different signs, I subtract them. 54 minus 10 is 44. And I keep the sign of the larger number, which is the positive. So it's just going to be 44 degrees. So now, okay, I have my coefficient. It's 5.5 times h. So the opposite is going to be division. So I divide this side by 5.5. Divide this side by 5.5. Okay, and so I see, okay, how many times is 5.5 going to go into 44? I can, when I set up my division, I can put it like this. I can put 5.5 goes into 44 how many times? I don't want to divide with the decimal, so let me move this one space over. And that means I have to move one space over right here. So then I see 55 goes into 440 how many times? So 55 goes into 4 0 times. 55 goes into 44 0 times. But 55 goes into 440 8 times. And again, I've already worked out this problem, but you guys can try it. Just say, okay, what's 55 times 6? Let me see what that gives me. Just as a guess. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 5 is 30 plus 3. 330. So you say, okay, I need to keep on going up. And you keep on trying different numbers until you get it. And so there's a remainder of 0. So that means that h is less than or equal to 8. So that's how many hours they have until the bacteria is not safe. Less than or equal to 8 hours. Okay, moving down. Which of the following describes the possible solutions to the following inequality? So we have, let me just rewrite it so it's a little bit bigger. Negative 3 is less than or equal to v divided by 2 minus 6. So I have, again, right here, I can get rid of my constant first. And again, this time it's on the right hand side, so it's going to look like we're doing it backwards, but it's the same thing, same steps. So we say, okay, plus 6 on this side, plus 6 on that side. Those are going to cancel. I'm still left over with v divided by 2 less than or equal to negative 3 plus 6. Different signs, so I subtract them. 6 minus 3 is 3. And then keep the sign of the larger number. So it's going to be positive 3. So I have 3 is less than or equal to v over 2. Now I got to get rid of the coefficient. So the coefficient is dividing by 2. The way I can get rid of it is by doing the opposite and multiplying both sides by 2. So these 2's are going to cancel. I'm going to be left over with v less than or equal to 2 times 3 is 6. So now I have 6 less than or equal to v. Is that the correct order that I want to write it in? No, I want it to be letter, then the sign, then the number. So for this one, I'm going to just swap them. So the v should be first, the 6 should be last, and because I'm flipping, I have to turn the sign around. So now it's going to be v is greater than or equal to 6. So the correct answer here would be letter B.